You stop right there. Exactly what you're doing. That loving pet, that gaze, that fresh scent you just sprayed. You think you're showing affection. Your cat thinks it's under attack. There's a silent routine you play out every single day. It completely twists the meaning of everything your cat feels for you. And you've never even noticed. The problem is, while you're trying to build a bond, you're actually digging a chasm. What if I told you your cat isn't snobby or weird? It's just trying to survive you. In the next few minutes, everything you thought you knew about felines is about to get blown to bits. You're going to find out why they suddenly bolt, why they snap and bite you out of nowhere after a gentle stroke, and why your apartment, which should be a sanctuary, might actually be a sensory nightmare for them. If you want to stop stressing out the one you love most, stick with me. But be warned. Once you get this, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. Before we dive deeper, if you truly want to crack the code of your tiny predator's mind, hit that subscribe button. Here, we speak their language. You look into their eyes. That deep, soulful gaze. You feel a connection, right? Wrong. For a cat, a fixed stare is a challenge. It's what predators do right before they pounce. When you hold that gaze, their brain goes into high alert. Why is my human hunting me? They think. But that's not even the strangest part. The real kicker is what happens when you finally look away. And that leads us to a detail almost no one picks up on about physical space. You walk into the living room and see them stretched out, belly up. Looks like an invitation, doesn't it? So you go over and put your hand out. 2 seconds later, you've got a scratch or a bite. You feel betrayed. But the betrayal was yours. The belly is the most vulnerable spot on a cat's body. Showing it isn't asking for a rub. It's a certificate of extreme trust. They're saying, I trust you not to hurt me here. And what do? You attack their weak spot. Imagine someone you love coming at you with a punch to the gut every time you said, I love you. That's how they feel. And it gets worse when you realize what your hands are carrying. It's not just the touch. It's the scent. Cats live in a world of odors we can't even begin to imagine. You clean your house with that wonderful lavender cleaner. To you, it smells like fresh. To them, it smells like a territorial invasion. Their sense of smell is 14 times stronger than yours. When you scrub their scent off the furniture, you're erasing their identity. They feel like a stranger in their own home. This creates an invisible anxiety that eats away at their immune system. If your cat's been hiding a lot, drop a comment below saying, he vanished. It might be a sign that your cleaning spree is sending them into a panic. But there's something that stresses them out even more than scent. And it happens when you try to be too affectionate. Ever tried to hug your cat and they just stiffened up? Or maybe they started frantically grooming themselves right after. That's not hygiene. That's a damage control mechanism. Cats hate feeling trapped. A hug, to them, is a restriction of movement. It's what happens when a bigger predator catches them. When you let go, they groom to reorganize their scent and emotions. They're trying to wipe your stress off them. And that brings us to another thing almost every cat owner gets wrong. The food. You fill the bowl, and you think everything's fine. But have you ever noticed they complain when they can see the bottom of the bowl, even if there's still food around the edges? You think they're just being finicky. They're not. Their whiskers are ultra-sensitive sensory organs. Bumping their whiskers against the side of a deep bowl hurts. It causes sensory fatigue that leaves the animal exhausted. They're hungry, but eating causes pain. Imagine having to eat with silverware that gives you tiny electric shocks. Would you be stressed? Absolutely. But that's still not the most impactful point. The real shocker comes now. Often, your cat sees you as a giant, clumsy cat. They don't understand why you make so much noise. Why you yell on the phone. Why you knock things over. A cat's environment needs predictability. If your routine is chaos, their life is hell. They're constantly trying to anticipate your next erratic move. This creates a state of constant alert that shortens their life. But take it easy. There's a way to fix all of this. And it's simpler than it seems, but it requires you to let go of your ego. The secret lies in the slow blink. You know when they look at you and slowly close their eyes. That's the equivalent of a kiss. They're telling you they've dropped their guard. If you do the same, you start speaking their language. You start telling them you're a friend, not a threat. But there's one detail that changes everything. Your cat doesn't want to be the center of your attention all the time. They want to be in your presence but maintain their autonomy. The biggest proof of love you can give a cat is to ignore them a little. Let them decide when contact happens. If you've made it this far, you're already a better owner than you were 10 minutes ago. You've started to realize that what we call love can actually be invasion. Maybe your cat isn't antisocial. Maybe they're just tired of being misunderstood. They're not a tiny human. They're a solitary predator who decided, for some miraculous reason, to share the den with you. Respect their silence. Respect their space. And, above all, respect their whiskers. Now, try a test today. Don't call them. Don't pick them up. Just sit on the couch and slow blink when they look at you. Then come back here and tell me what happened. You'll be surprised by their response. Maybe your cat isn't weird. Maybe you just never understood what their silence meant. If you learned something new, hit the like button and share this video with that friend who's always manhandling their cat. They need to hear this. And comment, I watched to the end, so I know you genuinely care about your companion's well-being. Until the next discovery, that annoying behavior that almost made you lose your cool, it was the only tool they had. They didn't want to wake you out of spite. They sensed what you didn't. Danger was there, in the quiet of the apartment. And the moment you finally realized what was happening, they were already on guard. This is redemption. It's proof that human judgment fails, but their instinct never misses. You spent years thinking you were the protector, that they were just an animal dependent on you. But in the end, they were the one who saved you. A cat's love isn't loud like other animals. It's silent, constant, and sometimes completely invisible to those who don't know how to look. The justice here is clear and profound. They give us their lives, even when we don't understand a damn thing they're saying. Look at your cat now. They're watching you. They know that, for the first time, you finally understood what that gaze means. And for them, that's all that matters. The connection's been made. And nothing will ever be the same between you two. If you watched all the way through, it's because you liked this case. Leave a comment saying, I watched to the end, so I can get to know you and see who really likes the stories here on the channel. If this video changed the way you look at your cat, hit that like button right now. Share it with that friend who's always complaining about their cat's quirks. They need to know the truth.